Are you ready for some brutally honest opinions on the Evercade? Well, welcome to the Generational Gamer. Brutally honest, the Evercade. Some people love it and say it's infallible. Some people hate it and say it's utter crap. I am somewhere in the middle. This cartridge, Namco Collection 2, which I don't know if you can see it because the games are pretty well hidden, is the only one that I think justifies the cost of this console. Why? Well, for one thing, this game's like $100 and some itself if you were to buy it on the secondary market. The second one's even more expensive. Helios is expensive. All three of them are on this cartridge, and quite frankly, it's the only thing I even care about on the console. There are other ways to play the vast majority of these games that I'd rather play, such as the Switch, such as the PS2, the PS3, the PS4, the Xbox 1, 2, and 3. Or, I'm sorry, 1 original. There's other ways. I'd rather play it on the 360, on the Namco Collection, or on the one that's spelled out O-N-E, or the Series X. I mean, they basically share the same catalog, except one has enhancements. But there's better ways to play out the vast majority of the games that are available in this thing. The Double Dragon Collection, I think, is one of the worst. I am so sorry I spent $20 whole on that game. Why? Well, the vast majority of the good games on that thing are part of the Nintendo Switch Online. And then, the only one I don't have out of that collection is Super Double Dragon. The game's just not that good. There's better fighters out there. Okay, Atari 1 is the one it came with for mine anyway. There's a lot of good games on there, none of them that I particularly care about because I grew up with an Intellivision. Imagine that. Where's my Amico stuff? Then, it came with Data East 1. I have almost every one of those games either on the Switch, on the Super Retrocade, on the At Games Flashback, and then I have them on this thing, which I don't even use that cartridge because the games just are better and playable somewhere else. Okay, moving along to Interplay 1. That one and Interplay 2 are actually pretty decent. They've got Earthworm Jim 1 and 2 on there, both of which are starting to creep up in value. I get that, and you can get it at a reasonable price. I don't know if it still comes with Interplay 1 and Data East and Atari if you buy the more expensive of the two models, but that's what mine came with. I think it actually comes with Namco 1 now. Alright, we'll move on to Namco 1 since I already talked about Namco 2. Namco 1 has some good games on it, but I have them almost everywhere else. I have a TurboGrafx Mini behind me. A lot of those games are available on that. It just doesn't appeal to me. So, if I'm going to play with this thing and connect it through an HDMI cable, a mini HDMI cable, mind you, I would like to be able to dock it somewhere. It has a micro USB cable. I would like to see a OTG adapter, which I know I have one sitting at my desk, I just don't know where I put it. They're cheap though, so it's not really a huge deal. Where you can plug it in and then connect another controller via USB. That's just a minor thing, it's nothing real spectacular, but if I could get somebody's attention over at Evercade, I'd say, hey, Evercade, add this feature, people will like it, because now you've got yourself a dock or a Switch that's not a Switch, and you can sell your own games. Just one man's opinion. The number one thing that just irritates me, updating the firmware on this thing's not a problem, it's very easy to do. But the number one thing that irritates me is some games do not have mappable controls. Anything Genesis, and it's a quick way to tell too, if it's a Genesis game, you can always map the controls. But you have a finite amount of ways you can map them. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. So now we're back to the way it's supposed to be. If the game does not have it internally, you cannot map some of these games. And I find that incredibly annoying. Officer Dullard, did I meet your expectations?
If you got this far, you probably liked the video. Well, how about checking out some of these other ones? And if you like them too, please subscribe. Have a good one.